In this tutorial part, we will look at Spring Framework key features. So here are the Spring Framework key features that are the common key features. We have modularity and extensibility, inversion of control, dependency injection, Spring AOP transaction management, Spring testing features, integration capability. And let's look at these in detail, starting with the modularity and extensibility. Modularity and extensibility. Spring modular architecture allow developers to pick and choose the component they need, promoting code reusability and efficient development. You can choose from Spring Framework projects such as Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data, and other modules. We have them based on your application and use. That is modularity and extensibility. Okay, we have inversion of control. Spring work based on the principle inversion of control. When using this principle, instead of allowing the app to control the execution, the control is given to the Spring Framework through the configuration. We instruct Spring Framework on how to manage the code we write. Okay, as you can see in the picture, without the inversion of control, that the application manage the dependencies, all these dependency. But here we have, with the inversion of control, we have the application itself is managed by the framework. Okay, so inversion of control. Let's look at dependency injection. It is a technique supported by the inversion of control IOC that simplify component wiring and reduces hard-coded dependency. Spring automatically inject dependency into your classes, establishing relationship across the app. Here we have the Spring container, and without having the dependency and the bin inside the Spring container, that the Spring will not able to sense it and will not able to manage it. Okay, by having it in the Spring container, Spring can manage it. So let's look at Spring AOP. It is a powerful technique supported by inversion of control aspect away the framework intercept method call and possibly alter the execution of method to perform some extra action at the time of method initialization or destroy. Logging, caching, security monitoring, and validation are common aspects in Spring AOP. Okay, here we have point code and join point. That is join point, the specific point at the program execution. Point code, which method the framework need to intercept and execute. That is the point code. And we also have advice code to be executed at some join point. So we will look at this in more detail in the series, that is in this playlist. Okay, so let's look at transaction management. Transactions allow us to execute database operation, ensuring that all operations are either succeed or fail, as you can see in the diagram. In software development, managing transactions in our code can be complex, so Spring Framework can be used as a helpful tool when dealing with the transaction in our code. It provides both declarative and programmatic transaction management. Okay, we have Spring testing features. Testing is an integral part of software development. It ensures that your Spring Boot application works as expected. Testing is a small piece of logic whose purpose is to validate that specific component in your application works together. Okay, why testing matters? Reliability, it ensures that your application performs correctly and reliably. Bug detection, it helps identify and fix issues early in development. We have documentation. Well-written tests serve as living documentation for your code. Two most common type of testing: unit testing, testing individual components such as classes and methods in isolation. We also have integration testing, focused on validating different component or service works correctly together. Okay, this is what we have in the Spring testing features, and we will look at this later, building application that uses the Spring testing features. Okay, so integration capabilities, this is the last. Spring seamlessly integrate with various technologies including messaging system, web service, and cloud platform. It simplifies the integration process, reducing development effort. Okay, so this is what we have in this series of, that is with the name Spring Key Features. Okay, so in the next video we will look at Maven and creating Maven project.